All right, let's go into basketball and kind of another. Well, I guess we mostly had 1920, right? You can't really go 1819. I mean, we may have had
we can't go 2021 yet.
No, we can't do that either. So we're gonna stick with the 1920 releases. We've got Mosaic, we've got Optic, we got Prism, we got Flawless, and we've got NT. So those are some heavy hitters, man.
We got them all this year.
We got them all, and they're all bangers, and they're all $1 million a box now, which is crazy.
Prism especially, oh my God.
Could I just say they're all my favorites?
All favorites.
They're all my favorites.
I think they're the entire hobby's favorites for the year.
Collect them all. So let's give you this, since you're the basketball guy. Maybe say a little bit of a piece on all of these, and we can kind of give our opinions. And in the chat, let's see what you guys think.
Prism, as fun a chase as it's always been. I had a PC guy named Brandon Clark, so he was ultra fun to chase it for the parallels. Hands down, it's year to year. I know we do these at the end of the year, but it's always gonna be at the end of the day, national treasures, basketball.
Yeah.
So there's not I don't have much to add to NT other than the RPA designs were awesome this year. But Prism, Flawless has been a fun product. We haven't ripped enough of it, but obviously we know what it is. Mosaic was an interesting one because it was coming off we were like, oh, they're not doing Prism Mosaic anymore. It's just Mosaic. And like I was saying earlier, I actually prefer the football Mosaic to it. But overall, it's been a pretty fun year of ripping basketball as well as just like football. Great products this year. A little excess with the different variations. Like, I know that's probably what a lot of people are going to say as well. The different hoops and the 10 million Don Russ products that they came out with this year is overkill for sure. And it dilutes the Don Russ brand a little bit, like the optics and the
clearly. Yeah. I agree there. I think my favorite to rip was Optic this year. I just like the velocities. I love the on-card autos on that brand. Obviously, if I was given the choice to buy one, I'd probably buy Prism, if money wasn't an issue.
Optic is a beautiful set, dude.
And, I mean, Flawless, I don't want to hate too much on Flawless. My biggest gripe, obviously the cards are selling for massive amounts. They're just crazy with the Logo Mans and the dual Logo Mans, and there's some great cards to chase. But I just want them to get rid of after the first patch card, the next 6 cards, they might as well just be blank dummy cards. Literally, they might just be like dummy card, dummy card, dummy card, dummy card. It's like, and no, I didn't play basketball, but Fat Lever, like Jerome Williams, I know they have to get cards in the set to fill the set, and I know it needs to be 10 cards a briefcase, but literally, you're only looking at each briefcase 3 cards that you want. And that the rest is just literally guys that should not be in Flawless.
But the thing is that what's driving me crazy with that analogy is the fact that it is obviously maybe some of these vets and legends don't sell for that much, but we're valuing rookies who are not even proven over players who had good or great careers. That isn't on Panini. That is on the consumer that's valuing the rookies as high as they are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But couldn't you
you would have the same argument. Say it's a bad rookie class and it was nothing but rookies, you'd have the same argument oh man, I wish they put some Dirk in there. I wish they put some Elvin Hayes in there or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in there. Not the crappy rookie class that they're putting in there.
You know what would be a good idea for a future episode, and this just made me actually think about this with what you guys are talking about. We should do an episode where we rank tiers of basketball players that sign cards. So you're saying those 5-6 cards are useless, right? What tier are they? What tier autograph signers are they in terms of value to the hobby? You know what I'm saying? So if say you think that they're all D tier, C tier, maybe players that are signing in Flawless, would it be better if there's B tier players in there? You know what I'm saying?
I almost think and you could take a page out of the old Exquisite where they would make base cards of top players. You could put a LeBron base card in there for $25 or for number to 25, not $25, number to 25, and then have it parallel down.
No base cards in Flawless.
Except the diamond.
Yeah, except for the diamond, but like
that's on a base card. I
Yeah,
consider a
that's a-
diamond
that's
a
a-
hit.
because if you look
Yeah,
at the
that's
if you look at some of the old exquisites, they would have, and they still do it in cup hockey, is that there would be a card at the end. It would say their draft pick, and it would be numbered out of whatever. And those cards sell for a lot if it's a top rookie. You could double like the amount of Zions you could hit that way
yeah, but
without
wait-
affecting the patch auto of it. That's just my thought.
Yeah, basically, you're just saying you could make more cases. If you put base cards in
Well,
there,
it'd be
you can
cheaper
you can
for
make more
Panini.
product.
It would be cheaper for Panini to not have to pay Fat Lever $20. They just make a Zion card number to 25, and it's gonna go nuts. It'll be a flawless rookie card parallel.
I get what you're saying,
But-
I would put NT and flawless, and it has nothing to do with the design, but those are my. It's the value. The value is like it's probably the worst value because the price is like through the roof with what you're gonna get. So those are my two least favorite products, and has nothing to do with the design. It has to do with the value.
Yeah, I just feel like with back on flawless is like I feel like you could just do 4 cards a briefcase. I know that doesn't lend well to group breaking, but like just those guys that are in there are just I don't know. At this point, like they're just blank dummy cards. And I know these guys have had great careers, no problem of their own. Like they've signed so many over the years that they've literally devalued all of their autographs. And we're at the point now where unless Panini gets Tim Duncan, like who's left? Who's left to sign that hasn't been in the last 7 or 8 years of flawless? Like Magic Johnson has been in every Panini set forever. He's one of the greatest of all time. But because he's in every set, his cards sell for $80. His autograph sells for like $80. It's nothing for one of the greatest of all time. So it's like, we've got to protect these guys' autographs over time because it's just not worth anything.
So like the guys like Fat Lever, obviously they're lower tier, right? Like I was just saying before. If
Poor
there were
Fat Lever, dude.
more guys like, if there were more names, because besides we know what the top tier guys are, like Steph Curry, right? Dirk Nowitzki. When you're getting those guys, that's a big hit.
Charles
right?
Barkley.
So below that tier, if we were getting guys like more like MJ, Magic Johnson, MJ, not Michael Jordan. If
I'm all that now you'd be onto something.
yeah, no, but if we were getting more guys like Magic Johnson in the box, would that make it better in your eyes? Flawless. More guys like
yeah,
Magic.
because-
But you're getting him still, right?
But Magic doesn't sell for anything.
But he sells for more than Fat Lever.
Yeah.
He does, but he's a better player than Fat Lever. I mean,
Arguably.
Magic Johnson.
Top 10 of all time.
Probably a top 10 of all time. There's probably some people that would say Fat Lever is a top 10
So
of all time. They're probably Nugget fans. I don't know.
In every inner box, if we were getting Magic, if we were getting Bird, if we were getting like Dame, guys like that, who are like a step above the weaker guys that when you get a Lever or whoever else, Jerome, who you're saying.
You know who I've seen in Flawless in the limited amount of cases that I've opened? Like Nick Van Exel.
Doug Christie.
Like what's Nick Van Exel doing in Flawless?
Yeah.
And not even like the first card. Like it's like 2 to 3 subpar autos after it. It's like one of your better ones in the inner box was a Nick Van Exel. But like
I like Tosin has a good comment in the chat. They could change the player list yearly or so. So maybe if Magic Johnson was in this year, maybe you're not going to get another Magic Johnson for like 3 or 4 years.
They should do that for the whole year.
Yeah.
For every release. It's like
Mix it up.
Yeah, mix it up. So you're like
Mix it up.
You're all okay, this year we're gonna have Magic Johnson and Allen Iverson, and they're gonna sign this year. Next year we're gonna have Barkley, and that way
It'll give something people to look forward to.
That way
too.
it's not those players are not flooded year after year.
Yeah,
it's
that's a
kind of
good idea.
spaced out. Mm-hmm. So you go, hey, this year David Robinson, and then in 4 more years we may have a signed other contract with David Robinson.
Yeah, and that would be ideal. I think this year, obviously, the pandemic makes it hard for them to get a hold of some guys probably just weren't even going to do any kind of business whatsoever for this year. I mean, with everything that's going on in the world. But I think it's at the point where they're sending sticker books, they're sending cards out to as many people as possible, and they may only get like 60 to 70% of that returned. Right, so then they have to kind of try to figure out what they're going to do to make the set.
At best.
That's why you see Kyrie's. Every Kyrie I've been pulling has been like a Celtics one, and I look on the back and it's 17-18. So obviously there's no redemptions in Flawless. Kyrie must have not turned in his cards from 17-18 until recently. So now he's getting inserted into this year's Flawless. So that probably happens. There was probably somebody they sent the card to. Let's just say Draymond was supposed to sign for this year's Flawless. Well, Draymond, he was busy. He was doing those whitening teeth commercials and stuff, and he didn't sign the cards. So now they're waiting so they got to pull him off the checklist, put somebody else in, and then maybe when Draymond sends his stuff back in, maybe he's in 2021 flawless, right? So those are probably some big challenges. These athletes really don't have to sign. That's probably why and I hate to keep kicking Fat Lever, but like Fat Lever
just say Alex English.
Fat Lever and Alex English, same person. They sign for probably $10 to $15 an auto or less, and they're happy to do it because that's their income. You know what I'm saying? That's those guys maybe made, I don't know, I'm just spitballing. Those guys maybe only made like $250,000 a year, and now it's been 30 or 40 years since they played, and that's the only way that they can make money. So they're happy to be like, send me more, Panini, send me more, send me more.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I had some honorable mentions for best product of the year. I think 1-in-1 is definitely one to talk about. We didn't have high hopes for it, but people loved those timeless memories.
Paying big bucks for it too.
Which I felt like they used the wrong pen on that one. It's too streaky, but people still love it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't vote for that product based on name alone.
1-and-1.
It's right. 1-on-1 would have been a better name.
1-on-1, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's a bet.
It has
how everybody plays basketball.
It has a basketball reference to it. 1-and-1, and I know why they did it because it's one base card, one encased hit.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
And the and-1 that has a basketball reference as well. And one.
And it's funny. You see this happen at Panini. We're like, we need to make. Let's get to the table here. Let's talk about some new products.
Is that what we're doing right now?
Yeah. We got to make 6 more releases this year. Zion's coming out. We got to do 6 more releases.
I like how you have a different. You have like a Panini voice.
You got the football. You got the football guy in the background going. Well, we have all the one Photoshop. There you go. All we got to do is take the one football card design, take the dudes out of it, throw the basketball dudes on there. Done. So it's like less work, right? Where they already have all the logos. You just have to add the and one, but all the RPA designs are the same as football. A lot of the autos are the same as football. So it's probably easy for them to transition into stuff like that rather than let's create Panini Shooby-Doo basketball where it's a whole brand new line of color schemes and stuff like that. It takes them a lot more to develop. So you see them doing this more often, crossing over. Oh, one football is popular. Let's bring it to basketball. Let's bring it to baseball. You'll probably see 2 on and 1 out baseball or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and it's going to come out one hit baseball product because they've already got the designs.
That's a dumber name than 1-and-1.
1 on and 1 out. You don't give them any ideas, it'll happen. It will happen.
Yeah,
there's probably a lot of products we haven't covered today and for all sports. So yeah, whatever when you guys comment, make your vote about the best products. You guys go ahead and put those
write-ins,
those honorable mentions in the messages as well. Not the chat room because we're looking for comments on our YouTube.
But we talked about the crossover, and you can probably go back 4 or 5, 6 years in a podcast that we did talking about how not necessarily every product could cross over to certain categories in different sports. That is out the window now. I think if they come up with a new product line, a new name, a new design,
it's for all.
You might as well just assume that it is going to be crossed over to everything.
Yeah.
That's just the way it's going to be, and I think what you were saying, it does make it a lot easier.
Yeah, because development time is money, bro.
The product is already done. The design is done. The subsets are done. Everything's done. All you got to do is tweak a couple things here and there, and you got another product.
I mean, same thing with like Select baseball, Select soccer, Select football. They're all the same designs.
Select NASCAR.
Select now, I think, is a flagship. It's kind of like a optic, and it's kind of like a prism, but XR. Will there be an XR basketball release?
Right. Yeah, I mean,
I think they test the waters with Chronicles. They see how popular a design is.
But then basketball doesn't count because everything was popular. So, like, literally every single subset that's in Chronicles, they could make a standalone product.
They could. But last year, remember, 1819 Chronicles, Origins was the most popular design. So what did they do for 1920? They're like, let's make an Origins basketball.
Right. I'm not going to be...
Let's make Inception basketball.
Yeah. I'm not going to be surprised if Luminance makes a debut for basketball because of that John Morant photo.
Yeah.
That the card was selling for like $1,000 out of the gate for the base card. I don't think they still are, but that and the writing, I think basketball collectors seem to love that one.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we got a little LaMelo Ball luminance set, Wiseman, Edwards coming out in that release. So, but yeah, go ahead and vote your guys' stuff. Tell us what you like for the top NBA products.
Can you even say a worse basketball product this year or what?
Illusions, which is another one we have a lot of.
I will no. Illusions not. Black
basketball
is worse.
Yeah. Which
Got a
was
fair
funny.
amount of that too.
Easier rip, but it's worse than Illusions.
Yeah, because the football version actually is sought after.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Black football is dope. Black basketball,
Dude, I'll tell you right. I got one that's you guys aren't gonna believe. Chronicles basketball.
Nah.
I hated Chronicles basketball.
Not me. I'm not.
I'm
in that
sorry.
camp.
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm breaking hearts right now, but yeah, that I can do without that.
I'll give you that it was a step back from last year's.
Sorry,
Chronicles.
Cody. I got closer to the microphone, then I touched the microphone. I see you moving
You
back
did it
and
all.
forth. I'm screwing with you right now. I need
Yeah.
to go out there and sell some more Pokemon.
I'll give you that as well. It's not as good as last year's, but that's still a pretty fun product, bro.
Yeah, I like the variety. I didn't like all the cards. I mean, literally, it's just top loading every card.
Yeah, I'm just, dude. I'm literally just going through them like flipping, top loading, flipping over. Is this parallel? Who knows? Is this number? I don't know.
I wasn't a huge fan of Clearly Donruss. I'm not going to say it's the worst product, but
Nah, it's not the worst.
there wasn't a lot of variety for me on that one. Like, I'd pick Hoops. If I had $300 and whatever to spend, I'd pick Hoops Premium over
Who's premium
Clearly.
is absolutely better than Clearly Donruss for sure.
Yeah.
Clearly, Donruss, the centering was tough. The surface was tough. Yeah, and I've talked about it before. Like generally, like the acetate cards, like high tech, they grade well. I can't see a lot of Clearly Donruss grading well.
Oh, that's crazy because I feel when I compare it to high tech, I notice more. Well, the thing with high tech is that you can some of the surface issues can be disguised because of the design, but clearly, like you see the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
there is no background design at all. So for me, I felt like because they packed those high tech cards like 40 of them together.
Yeah.
Where Clearly Donruss you're only getting 5 a pack. So I felt like the surfaces were a little bit better in Clearly actually.
Yeah, and it almost like they almost miscut some of those on purpose.
They miscut them though for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
On purpose?
Well-
who goes out of their way?
Well, but if you think about it, I mean, let's just say, I'm throwing out numbers because I don't know, but let's just say there's 150,000 Zion base cards out of there. If they're all 10s, they're all perfectly cut, then we have no secondary market. But if they're
Dude,
some of them are miscut.
No one is going out of their way to be like, you know what? Just get the cutting thing off a little bit and just.
But if you're living, I don't know. I've never
Like, why would you do
never
that?
went to Cardamundi. I don't know how they cut cards, but you would think that you could precision cut a card perfect
No,
every
man, they're
time.
cutting cards like the way I used to cut band flyers back in the day, dude. At Kinko's, just like going through with that little
No, I don't
lever
think they do.
thing.
I mean, that would they make these phones perfect every time. Every time, if you're.
Well,
if
I
if
mean,
the
they don't
phone
make
wasn't
they don't
cut
make
right-
they don't make yours perfect at all.
Yeah, they
they've
do.
never made yours. They never made an
perfect.
apple perfect anything.
Apple perfect apple.
Perfect.
But I'm just saying. I mean, I almost feel like sometimes they're doing things with borders. They're doing things with the way they cut the cards to prevent everybody from having a PSA 10, and that is especially prevalent in the Clearly Donruss, in my opinion. Is that if everybody had a 10, then the 10s wouldn't be worth anything.
You know, product was dope. Premium hoops.
Yeah, it was dope.
Great product.
Yeah, good
great
value. And
I thought it was going to be terrible though, and I was like, "What is the?" You can go back probably 4 weeks ago, and I'm like, "Why?
I think we all said why.
Why?"
shout out.
Now
to-
I'm like, I think you guys figured it out. We should do maybe hoops premium, hoops ultra, hoops extra.
Yeah, Shag
Hoops 1 and 1.
Sports. Shag Sports says Luminance cards are just such well taken action shots. I'd rather have a Luminance rookie than the Jaw than the Prism. I can't disagree on the photo. Obviously, the value is different, but yes, photo wise, yes.